China's ambition for global domination is no secret.
For this 5th grade class, the day begins with putting on a brain-wave sensing gadget.
我们要全面加强练兵备战，提高人民军队打赢能力。
Enterprise orchestrated from Beijing with one goal in mind.
China ultimately wants to surpass the U.S. as the dominant global superpower.
They have used several tactics, and that has allowed them to gain an influential foothold in many areas, including politics, economy, and culture. This video will explore how China is using its strategies to take over the world. One of the most powerful tactics China has used is propaganda. Through their state-controlled media outlets, they can shape public opinion and affect the political outcomes of other nations. This is especially true in countries that may not have previous ties to China, as they can be influenced by Chinese foreign policy. This is because of the sheer size and influence of China, which can be used to sway public opinion on issues important to them. The Great Chinese Firewall is known for filtering and blocking information that goes against their agenda. This keeps their population docile and in the dark when it comes to foreign affairs. However, China is also propagating its own messages to foreign citizens through applications such as TikTok. In China, TikTok algorithms feed their citizens with educational and pro-Chinese content, and the platform favors educational content. This is also used to shape the minds of foreign citizens, as it indoctrinates non-Chinese viewers with Chinese ideologies and values. It also dumbs down the American audience as less educational content is pushed up through their algorithms. Culture in the form of animation is also beginning to be used as a tool by China. Through their cartoon series and high-quality movies, they can spread their message in an entertaining and influential manner that carries further than any other mainstream media. Similarly to how Hollywood and pop culture were used as a way of subtly creating American influence, China is now doing the same. They are first controlling the world by controlling the global population's minds. China has also leveraged its resources to gain a monopoly on certain commodities. By controlling access to materials such as oil or rare earth minerals, they can dictate the prices of these goods, which gives them an economic advantage over other countries. Although it's not as reported in the news as much, China is taking over Africa. They have been investing in infrastructure there and gaining access to natural resources. This allowed them to create a foothold in the continent, which can give them a leg up on the rest of the world. They're not aggressively going to war for control in this area, as that would be too costly and damaging for their reputation. But instead, they are slowly buying up resources and gaining control through investments. Slavery through the debt that nation-states accrue from investments is another way that China is gaining control. They loan money to countries with little to no oversight and pressure them into signing contracts they can't afford. They then use this to gain control over these countries and manipulate them into following their agenda. It's not the same form of control as the transatlantic slave trade, but it is still slavery nonetheless, as breaching the contract comes with serious consequences. Over the past few decades, production has been moving from the US to China. This has been due to the easier cost of labor, taxes, and regulations in China, which has allowed them to expand their production capacity and dominate the global markets. With the supply chain now firmly under its control, China can manipulate the prices of goods and services. This has resulted in leverage on their side as essential goods and services become more expensive than if they were brought from elsewhere, such as the US. As you may know, there are growing concerns about a Malaysian invasion as a way to secure the final pieces of the puzzle to take over the world. As a hotspot for microchip production, the world would be at its mercy if Malaysia is taken over. With this, a technological boom in China and the buying power of the Chinese yuan, you can see how they would be positioning themselves for a technological advantage over other nations. The US dollar has held global reserve status for decades. However, with China's growing strength and power, this might not last for much longer. The Chinese government has been partnering with other superpowers such as Saudi Arabia and Russia to pull their dependence off of the USD. If their currency rises to the level of the USD, not only would it render the US dollar obsolete, but also provide China with much more power. China is a superpower, and it's only growing stronger with each passing year. It has been taking over the world through various tactics such as propaganda, monopoly over resources, trade wars, currency wars, and military might. As of right now, China is in a position to take over America if it were ever to come to that. So what can be done? We must stay alert and aware of what China is doing. We should also think of ways to stop them from making progress. American values are worth preserving. To help spread this knowledge, please share this video and comment your concerns below. Thank you for watching.